Hello everyone and welcome to another lecture of control systems unit number 2 time response analysis. My name is Kitty Tripathi and I am faculty of electrical engineering department in BBD and IIT Lucknow. Let's begin with the lecture. In the previous lecture we have discussed what is the meaning of second order system and what are the factors on which it is hugely dependent on, that is omega n and zeta, where omega n is called as natural frequency of the system and zeta is called as damping coefficient or damping ratio of the system. So, these two terms are the terms through which we define a second order system. This we have understood in the previous lecture. Now, let us begin with the concept that how are we going to obtain this output. So, let us begin. Let us begin with the transfer function of the second order systems. So, the general expression of the transfer function of the second order system was omega n square upon s square plus 2 zeta omega n s plus omega n square, right. Now, in the previous lecture we have discussed that the most important and the most common input which we take is unit step function. So, let us begin with that only, and the reasons is that it is having 0 initial conditions and it is very easy to generate, and that is the thing we are taking the standard input as test signal as unit step signal, right. So, let us begin. What if we are taking this Rs as a unit step signal? What will happen? If it is a unit step signal, what is the Laplace of unit step function? It is 1 upon s. So, what can we do? We can take this Rs this side and take Cs separately. What we will get is 1 upon s into this entire function omega n square upon s square plus 2 zeta omega n s plus omega n square, right. Now, see डिनोमिनेटर में अभी क्या दिख रहा है, हमें 1 upon s एक टर्म दिख रहा है और एक क्वाड्रेटिक इक्वेशन सी दिख रही है. Now, what we want to do is we want to change this a bit. How? See, जो डिनोमिनेटर का एक्सप्रेशन है, I want it to be a perfect square. Can we do that? How? Let's see here. See this term, only this term, s square plus 2 zeta omega n s plus omega n square, right. इसको perfect square बनाना है. See, for making perfect square, we are having two terms. This s square, this can be 2, it is a square plus b square plus 2ab के फॉर्मेट में लिखते हैं, देखते हैं क्या मिलता है हमें, ठीक है. दिस इज s square, it is 2ab. what is missing? b square. अगर b square होता तो ये a plus b का होल स्क्वायर वाले फॉर्मेट में हम एक्सप्रेशन लिख सकते थे. सो व्हाट इज दैट रिमेनिंग फैक्टर? दिस टर्म, सी a square plus 2ab. तो what is this a and b? this is this s term and zeta omega n. तो हमारे पास इसको परफेक्ट स्क्वायर बनाना है तो वी कैन ऐड एंड सब्ट्रैक्ट बी स्क्वायर इन दिस एक्सप्रेशन. लेट्स डू दैट. प्लस zeta square omega n square and we subtract it also, minus zeta square omega n square. What we can get now? s plus a plus b का whole square होता ना, a. Now see, it is in the format a square plus b square plus 2ab. What can we write it as? a plus b का whole square. What remains? Remains is, here is omega n square and this extra term minus zeta square omega n square, ठीक है. Let's write it together. Take omega n square common. What can we write here? 1 minus zeta square. So, this has been now represented in some standard specifications. Why we are so much interested in making this as a perfect square? Because we have to take Laplace transforms, inverse Laplace transform to get the time response, and for that we have to represent it in a standard format where we can directly use the formula of inverse Laplace transform. For that, what we will have to do? We will have to take partial fractions and obtain the value such that we can directly apply a formula, and that is why we have taken pain so much. See here, now what happens is, this is the term Cs upon Rs, or Rs if it is this side, it is 1 upon s. So see here it is two terms, s plus zeta omega n square plus omega n square 1 minus zeta square. ठीक है, क्या करें, पार्शियल फ्रैक्शन के फॉर्मेट में लिख दें. कैन वी राइट इट एज a अपॉन s प्लस बी एस प्लस सी अपॉन this entire term s plus zeta omega n whole square plus omega n square root under 1 minus zeta bracket में 1 minus zeta square. ठीक है. Now by solving partial fractions we can obtain the value of a, b and c. What we will get is a will have a value 1, b will have a value minus 1 and c will have value minus 2 zeta omega n. Now let us proceed further. What are we interested in now? Just for simplification, take that factor omega n root under 1 minus zeta square which was present here in the denominator as omega d whole square, where this omega d is called as damping frequency of the system, right. Let us substitute this value now, omega d square here. Now see this numerator term, it is s plus 2 zeta omega n. Can we write it in the format s plus zeta omega n plus zeta omega n divided by the entire denominator, right? Can we do that, segregate it in two parts, split? Let us split it. We will split and one term will be s plus zeta omega n and other term will be zeta omega n. Split it and write it accordingly. Substitute the value of omega in 1 minus zeta square as omega d square. What omega, and we will get omega d square here because see here root has been missing and square has been done. ठीक है, क्या हमें मिल गया 1 upon s minus s plus zeta omega n divide by something minus zeta omega n upon s plus zeta omega n something. अब हमें क्यों हमने ये unnecessary काम किया? Why we have splitted it? Because we want to again achieve the value where we can directly apply some formula of inverse Laplace transform. What if we take inverse Laplace transform of 1 upon s? We are aware it is going to be 1. It is step का Laplace होता है ना, and for t greater than 0 it is 1. So it is 1 upon s का inverse Laplace, we will get 1. What about this term? See what it is of the format. Isn't it is of the format s plus a upon s plus a का whole square plus b square? How can we write it? We can write it as e to the power minus a into cos bt, ऐसा लिखते हैं ना फॉर्मूले में. So let's substitute. What we will get? E to the power minus zeta omega n t into cos of omega dt. इस टर्म को देखें हम ज़रा, zeta omega n divided by this term. ये अभी भी कोई स्टैंडर्ड फॉर्मेट नहीं है लेकिन हो सकता है. कैसे? हम लोग एक टर्म लिखते हैं ना b अपॉन s प्लस a का होल स्क्वायर प्लस b स्क्वायर. सो व्हाट इफ वी डिवाइड एंड मल्टीप्लाई न्यूमरेटर विथ ओमेगा d? So this is what we have done, multiplied and divide by omega d. What can we do is take constant separately, omega zeta into omega and divide by omega d one side and rest of the term separately. Now what can we say? This is the constant, it is okay. What is the inverse Laplace of this term omega d upon s plus zeta omega n का whole square plus omega d का square? ठीक है, it is e to the power minus zeta omega n t into sin omega dt. ठीक है. What about this constant? It will come as it is. So what do we get the expression as? Finally, as after taking Laplace transform, we get the expression as 1 minus e to the power minus zeta omega n t into cos omega dt minus zeta omega n upon omega d into e to the power minus zeta omega n t into sin omega dt. ये हमें क्या मिला? आउटपुट का रिस्पॉन्स. लेट्स सिंप्लीफाई दिस रिस्पॉन्स. हाउ? टेक, let me show you here only. First, take e to the power minus zeta omega n as constant. We can do that. 1 minus e to the power minus zeta omega n t as constant. What remains is inside is cos of omega dt minus zeta omega n. Let's substitute the value of omega d. It is omega n root under 1 minus zeta square into sin omega dt. ठीक है. Now see here, what we are going to do is we'll take this omega n cancels out by this omega n, by the way. Denominator में एक term दिख रहा है हमको 1 minus zeta square. What if we take common outside? How can we write this expression as? It is can be written as e to the power minus zeta omega n t divided by 1 minus zeta square. यहाँ आ जाएगा रूट अंडर 1 minus zeta square into cos omega d t minus zeta into sin omega d t, right? This is what it is. See this term, second expression here. We have taken common and reduced the expression. Now we want to reduce it further. See the second this term inside the braces. One side it is having cos omega dt and some expression in zeta, other side it is sin omega t and some expression in zeta. Now let us take an assumption. Let us consider this zeta as cos phi. ठीक है, if zeta is cos phi, can't we say root under 1 minus zeta square is sin phi? है ना? Why? Because sin square theta plus cos square theta equal to 1. From that we have obtained. Okay. Now see this expression here. This can be replaced by sin phi. This zeta can be replaced by cos phi. What do we get the expression? Sin A cos B plus cos A sin B के फॉर्मेट में. ठीक है, क्या दिख रहा है इस समय? हम इसे मैथमेटिकली रिड्यूस कर सकते हैं sin A plus B के फॉर्मेट में. So it has been sin omega d t plus phi, where phi is cos inverse zeta, or we can write it in the format of tan inverse also. We can write it as tan inverse root under 1 minus zeta square upon zeta. So this is the expression of general second order system for a system where zeta is in the range 0 to 1 under damped case. Now in the previous lecture we have just discussed what are the various terms. Now this is a term to turn to define all these terms. So let us quickly go through the behavior. Now see here, what are we getting? E to the power minus zeta omega n t into sine of something. E to the power minus zeta omega n और sine के ग्राफ को अगर if we multiply, we get a damping sinusoidal signal, and that is what we have received here. And that is why we were defining the system entirely initially with the term damping ratio also, just because of this expressions we are obtaining here. Now see, this output response is achieving certain graph of a particular shape. Now how much height and peak values are going to be, it will be dependent upon two factors, omega n and zeta, right. Please remember we have taken abhi step input only, and why step input only we have already discussed. This is the most common and general input which is being taken for the test values. ठीक है, CT का ग्राफ मिल रहा है. अब हमें क्या बोला गया था कि टाइम रिस्पॉन्स को हम क्या कर सकते हैं, दो पार्ट्स में डिवाइड कर सकते हैं, स्टेडी स्टेट और ट्रांजिएंट. नाउ सी हियर, स्टेडी स्टेट और ट्रांजिएंट. स्टेडी स्टेट क्या होता है? द फाइनल वैल्यू व्हेन इट इज अचीव्ड. See here, although the final value is achieving, you see final value is 1 for step response, ठीक है ना, it is to be achieved here. And why we are taking as 1? Because हमें वही तो कंट्रोल करना है कि रेफरेंस इनपुट क्या हो जाए, हमारा कंट्रोल आउटपुट रेफरेंस इनपुट के इक्वल हो जाए. ठीक है, that is why it is attaining this value 1. Now see, it is attaining something here and we are ending this transient response here only. See, why? Because we say that there is a certain allowable tolerance कि आउटपुट के फाइनल वैल्यू के किसी परसेंटेज रेंज में अगर हमारा आउटपुट वेरी करता है तो हम उसे एक्सेप्टेबल आउटपुट मानते हुए उसको हम ट्रांजिएंट रिस्पॉन्स खत्म वहाँ मान के स्टेडी स्टेट वैल्यू मानी जा सकती है इफ़ इट इज़ इन दी allowable tolerance limit. Now what is general allowable tolerance limit? It varies from 2% to 5%. ठीक है, तो बेसिकली 2% से 5% ऑफ द फाइनल वैल्यू के रेंज में अगर आउटपुट हमारा आ जाता है CT का, देन वी से व्हाट इज हैपनिंग इज दैट transient response has ended and it has reached to a steady state value which is called as the steady state response. ठीक है. So see here, since it is in the allowable range of 2% here and here, तो ये यहीं पर आ जा रहा है ना जहाँ वैल्यू उस 2% की रेंज में आ रही है. हमने बोला what is this portion now, it has reached the steady state value, so it is steady state response. इसके पहले जो भी कुछ चेंजेस हो रहे हैं उनको क्या बोल रहे हैं हम, उनको बोल रहे हैं हम ट्रांजिएंट रिस्पॉन्स. नाउ सिंस वी नो, अगर हम कोई सिस्टम डिज़ाइन करते हैं और उससे कंट्रोल करते हैं, कंट्रोल कर पाए, व्हाट इज़ द नेक्स्ट थिंग विच वी थिंक ऑफ, हाउ फास्ट वी कैन कंट्रोल इट. एंड हाउ फास्ट वी कैन कंट्रोल इज मीनिंग दिस आउटपुट. इफ़ वी एनालाइज इट थ्रू दिस ग्राफ, व्हाट डज इट मीन, इट मीन्स दैट अगर हमारा ये जो आउटपुट है ये जितनी जल्दी इस फाइनल वैल्यू को पहुंचेगा, ये 2% टॉलरेंस लिमिट में, उतना हमारे लिए सिस्टम अच्छा होगा. आफ्टर वी हैव स्टार्टेड कंट्रोलिंग द सिस्टम, दिस इज द सेकेंड इम्पॉर्टेंट aspect for us to develop a good control system, right? That means this transient has to die out very quickly. Now if we are asked to reduce this transient response, we need to know ना कहाँ कौन सा वैल्यू चेंज करने से रिड्यूस होगा, क्या कर दें ये ट्रांजिएंट कम हो जाएगा, किस पे डिपेंड हो रहा है, कैसे पता चल रहा है कम हो कितना. तो हमें क्या करना पड़ता है, इस ट्रांजिएंट रिस्पॉन्स को कई सारे कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स में डिवाइड आउट कर देते हैं. जैसे मैं आपको बोलूँ ना, बल्ब लेके आओ, बहुत हाई इंटेंसिटी का होना चाहिए, तो आई हैव स्पेसिफाइड यू समथिंग हाई इंटेंसिटी, तो आप कितना ल्यूमिनेंस देखोगे, कितना ल्यूमिन है ना. तो सिमिलर इज द केस, इफ़ वी वांट, आई विल से दैट ट्रांजिएंट रिस्पॉन्स कम होना चाहिए, क्या देखेंगे कम करने के लिए. तो देयर आर सर्टेन थिंग्स विच आर कॉल्ड एज ट्रांजिएंट रिस्पॉन्स स्पेसिफिकेशंस. ठीक है. तो टोटल देयर आर 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 specifications for transient response. And what about steady state response? Is there any specifications there too? Yes, there is. We in the when it is have reached, the system have reached the value of steady state, what can we say, कितना error आया हमारे सिस्टम में, उसी हिसाब से सिस्टम को कंट्रोल बोलेंगे, अच्छा कंट्रोल, कितना कम एरर आ रहा है. So for steady state condition, the specification is to verify error. For transient response, the specification is to verify all these things which are mentioned here. Okay. What are the terms? Let us write it and then we will discuss what are they. First term is called as delay time, represented by TD. See here, this is the delay time. This time is called as delay time. What we will see in a minute later. Second specification is called as rise time, TR, called as rise time, represented by T of R. Third specification is T of P. It is called as peak time, written as T of P. Fourth specification is this T of S written here. What is it? Settling time. Represented by T of S. ठीक है. And the fifth specification is this term here, which is represented as MP. What is it? It is maximum overshoot. So if we have to define how better a system, second order system is, or how we can change the system to make it a better system, we have to know these values such that we can comment on transient response, and if required we can decrease the value wherever we can. It is possible for us to do that. ठीक है. See here, first of all, what are we showing here? This is graph or representation of output of second order system when it is subjected to unit step input. Now what are we seeing here in this graph? This graph has been drawn from MATLAB. Okay. What we are showing here? We are showing you that if we change the value of zeta, how is the behavior of the graph changing? We have said na कि zeta is very important, damping ratio is very important factor, और ये तभी हम चार कैटेगराइज में कैटेगरी किया था, इट इज़ इफ इट इज़ इक्वल टू 1, what if it is equal to 0, what if it is equal to greater than 1, what if it is in the range between 0 to 1. So we have taken a particular value of particular system, like what we have done in the previous lecture, 4 upon s square plus 2s plus 4. उस जैसे किसी एक्सप्रेशन के लिए हमने क्या किया, ड्रॉ करके देखा. अभी उसी सेम एक्सप्रेशन में हमने क्या किया, जीटा का वैल्यू सिर्फ चेंज करते रह गए, ओमेगा का वैल्यू एज इट इज रहने दिया ट्रांसफर फंक्शंस में. सो what is the change in the graph we are going to obtain? How can we see that changes? We can say that changes when we substitute the value of zeta in the expression and can solve it once again. ठीक है, जैसा हमने डेरिवेशन किया था वहाँ पर जीटा हमने डेरिवेशन किया था, वो स्पेसिफिक केस के लिए किया था कि जीटा इज बिटवीन 0 to 1. What if it is initially equal to 0, initially equal to 1? We'll have to substitute the value of zeta and begin with the transfer functions, and then we can determine what it is. So see here we can say कि damping का value अगर नहीं होता है तो system behaves like first order system का जैसा response नहीं आया था कि undamped जैसा, exponentially values changing, ठीक है, and finally reaching to a steady state value. What if it is exactly equal to 0, what it is exactly equal to it is between 0 to 1, and what if it is greater than 1? See here 1 पे कुछ है, greater than 1 पे कुछ दिख रहा है हमको, steepness ग्राफ की आप देखिए चेंज होती जा रही है. And what if it is varying between 0 and 1? See here we are always getting this oscillatory nature, है ना, अलग अलग सा. और how much peak? See here, this is the thing we are going to see. देखो यहाँ पर peak कुछ वैल्यू मिला है, जीटा की कुछ और वैल्यू पे पीक कुछ और मिला है, किसी और वैल्यू पे पीक कुछ और मिला है, ठीक है. सो अगर हमें क्या चाहिए, ट्रांजिएंट रिस्पॉन्स कम चाहिए, तो व्हाट डू वी वांट, द फास्टर इट रीचेस टू द पीक वैल्यू, द फास्टर इट विल गो टू द अदर वैल्यू. सो टीपी, टाइम ऑफ रीचिंग द पीक, शुड बी लेस. सो ये हमें ऐसे दिख भी रहा है कि अगर हम देखो चेंज करते जाएं तो कितना फास्ट हमें आउटपुट रिस्पॉन्स मिल जाएगा. इफ़ यू वांट टू वेरीफाई इट, यू कैन राइट अ सिंपल कोड इन मैटलैब, just draw a transfer function and take input as zeta and fix all the other values. Now start changing, put the values of input differently and see the behavior, how the graph is changing. It will be clearly, distinctly be seen. If you want to see it more slowly, what can you do is you can increase the time of view on the curve and you can clearly see how slowly it is moving and you will be able to visualize it completely. Now let's talk about the specifications. What are those 5 specifications? What is called as delay time? So what do we say, that delay time is the time when the response of transfer function has reached to the 50% of its final value for the very first time. See here, suppose this is the response, step response है तो 1 है, graph is varying something like this, ठीक है. This is 1, this is CT and this is T. Now what do we say, delay time is the time when it is reaching first peak for the very first time. That means 50% is 0.5 in this case. तो 0.5 पहुँचने में जितना टाइम लगेगा उसको हम लोग बोल रहे हैं delay time, ठीक है. It is represented by the expression denoted here, 1 plus 0.7 zeta by omega n. Next term is called as rise time. What do we say about rise time? Rise time को कहते हैं it is a time required to rise from 10% to 90% of the final value in overdamped case and from 0% to 100% in the underdamped case. मतलब यहाँ से 1 जाने में और अगर हमारा सिस्टम क्या है, ओवर डैम्प्ड है, तो 10% से 90%, समवेयर 10% से 90% ऑफ द वैल्यू को के पहुंचने के बीच में जितना टाइम यूटिलाइज हो रहा है उसको बोलते हैं हम राइज टाइम। एक्सप्रेशन यहाँ मेंशन्ड है, पाई माइनस कॉस इनवर्स जीटा अपॉन ओमेगा एन रूट अंडर 1 माइनस जीटा स्क्वायर। ठीक है। थर्ड इज पीक टाइम। पीक टाइम को क्या बोल रहे हैं, वो टाइम जब हमारा कर्व पीक को पहली बार रीच कर रहा है, फर्स्ट पीक इट इज रीचिंग the first time, that time is called as peak time. It is represented by the expression pi upon omega d and denoted here like this, pi upon omega n root under 1 minus zeta square. ठीक है. What about maximum overshoot or peak overshoot? Is it is also called as peak overshoot. It is the largest error between reference input and output during transient period. मतलब transient का जो कर्व था उसमें जो मैक्सिमम पीक का जो मैग्नीट्यूड आ रहा था और जो हमारा स्टैंडर्ड वैल्यू है उनके बीच का हम लोग क्या बोलते हैं, डिफरेंस, एंड दैट टू वी टेक नॉर्मलाइज्ड डिफरेंस बिटवीन देम. ओके, and that normalized difference is denoted by maximum overshoot. We generally define maximum overshoot in terms of percentage. ठीक है. It can be represented as e to the power minus zeta upon root under 1 minus zeta square. When taken in percentage, it will be multiplied by 100. Don't worry about how these values came. We will be dealing this in upcoming lecture. The last specification. The last specification is called as settling time. Now, what is settling time? It is the time which is required by a response to decrease and stay within the specified percent of its final value. मतलब final value के 2 to 5% में जो हम लोग बोल रहे थे. Let me draw the graph for you once again. See, ये 1 है, ठीक है, 0 CT. हम क्या बोल रहे हैं सेटलिंग टाइम के लिए, सेटल आउट कर गया. सेटल आउट करने का मतलब ही क्या होता है, फाइनल वैल्यू तक पहुंच जाए तभी बोल रहे हैं हम सेटल आउट कर जाए. एंड व्हाट आर वी ओके विथ, वी आर ओके विथ व्हेन इट रीचेज इन द टॉलरेंस लिमिट. व्हाट वी हैव सेड अबाउट टॉलरेंस लिमिट, इट कैन बी फ्रॉम 2% to 5%. ठीक है, मतलब ये जो 1 आउटपुट वैल्यू ना, इसके 2 to 5% की रेंज में जब भी हमारा आउटपुट रीच कर जाए, तो जिस टाइम पर वो पहली बार उस 2 to 5% की रेंज में रीच किया है, दैट टाइम इज कॉल्ड एज सेटलिंग टाइम. वी से ना ग्राफ हैज बीन सेटल्ड एट दिस पॉइंट, TS. Okay, so these were the specifications for second order system. Now, how do we determine these specifications? We determine by the general expressions we have obtained. See, we will be determining this for underdamped case. Okay. How we will do that? That we will be doing in the upcoming lecture.